Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the Kane County Circuit Clerk Candidate Forum hosted by the League of Women Voters of the Elgin area. My name is Carol Grom and I will be the moderator tonight. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan organization that strives to empower voters and encourage informed participation in our democracy. One of the ways we do that is to hold candidate forums to provide voters an opportunity to hear the candidates running for election. The forums sponsored by the League give candidates for local offices a chance to present information about themselves and their candidacy, background, skills, education, reasons for running for office, what they hope to accomplish if elected, and positions on various issues relevant to the office. Tonight's forum will not be a debate. It is intended to be an educational forum where you can learn about the candidates and hear about some of the issues pertinent to these elected offices and to the voters. All the candidates in contested races were invited to participate in a forum. Each one was given the opportunity to fill out a candidate questionnaire on our website, and their written responses, if any, can be found in the voter guide. This evening, you'll have a chance to hear from Democratic candidate Theresa Barreiro and Republican candidate Thomas Hartwell, candidates for Kane County Circuit Clerk. The format for today's forum will be a 3-minute opening statement, followed by 2-minute responses to written questions from the moderator, and ending with 2-minute closing statements. Our timekeeper will show the candidates when they have 1 minute left, 30 seconds left, and when their time is up. Questions for the candidates were selected from those submitted by League members. After the question and answer period, the candidates will have the opportunity to give a 2-minute closing statement beginning in reverse order. This forum will be streamed to the League Facebook page. The recorded forum will then be available for later viewing on our Facebook page and on the League website, LWVEA.org, until after the election on November 3rd. Welcome to our candidates and thank you for agreeing to participate tonight. Ms. Barreiro, we will begin with your 3-minute opening statement.
Thank you. Good evening, Kane County and League of Women Voters of Elgin. I would like to thank the League of Women Voters for hosting this forum. Why should people care about the Circuit Clerk's office? Because the performance of the office impacts the 16th Judicial Court system. Without the support of the Circuit Clerk's office, the courts would shut down. My name is Theresa Barreiro, and I am a candidate for Kane County Circuit Clerk. For the past 8 years, I have been serving as a Kane County board member in District 2. During my time on the board, I have served on many committees and held leadership roles. Prior to that, I worked in the public sector and the private sector, where I gained experience in office management, customer service, administrative duties, and technology. I believe that the Circuit Clerk's office should be a nonpartisan position like school boards. It should be an appointed position. The scope of the Circuit Clerk's office is narrow, serving as the administrative arm of the courts. As your next Circuit Clerk, I will put people first. My goals are to implement a customer survey, hold focus groups, and meet with stakeholders to assess how the Circuit Clerk's office is doing, work with staff to develop goals based on the assessment of the office, to work to make the office more transparent, advocate for resources to support staff and address technology issues, expand outreach programs to help people involved in the judicial system. My pledge is to serve as a full-time circuit clerk, to lead the office to a higher level of customer service. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hartwell, your 3-minute opening statement, please.
Thank you. Thank you to the League of Women Voters. I appreciate this opportunity to address your organization and to the public as well. As an elected official, I am here to help people do things that they can't do for themselves. I'm running for this office to serve. I want to use my knowledge, my talents, my experience to make Kane County a better place. We all want safe neighborhoods, we want fairness, and we want justice. My name is Tom Hartwell. I'm your Kane County Circuit Clerk, and I'm asking for your vote in this election. I have unique legal and managerial experience, which is an asset as the Circuit Clerk. My office is the front door to the courthouse. But let me go back and deal with why I'm involved in politics. I remember the day that changed my life. I was in my office as an attorney, a young attorney, and a mother was in my office crying because her son got involved in gangs. And he was in Cook County Jail, which is just a terrible circumstance. And she said to me, was there something I could do? And there wasn't much to do. You know, the man had broken the law and there was consequences that had to be paid. But I realized that what the important thing was to reach out to young people before they got in trouble. And I met a man named Joel Perez Jr., and he was a former gang member. And what he did was he had a heart for these gang members and wanted to reach into the communities. So I helped him form God's Gym in Elgin and Aurora. And in the first year, he was able to lead 30 young men to leave the gang lifestyle. I've also volunteered in other organizations such as Rotary International, where I was a Paul Harris Fellow, the American Heart Association, South Elgin Lions Club, and I'm active in my church, New Life Covenant, today. When my kids were old enough, I coached all kinds of sports, and I was president of the Elgin Continental Little League and was able to manage the 2007 Elgin Continental Little League state champions. And I still coach today. My family, I've raised 2 sons here in Kane County. My older son, David, is a certified teacher and he lives in Texas. He was a state champion baseball player. Danny, my other son, is a doctor in Dallas. He's a national champion cheerleader. And yes, they got all their athletic talent from their mother, Cheryl. That's my opening.
Thank you. So we'll move to the question and answer portion of the forum with a reminder that each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer. First question will go to you, Ms. Barreiro. In your own words, how would you describe the office that you are running for?
Well, the office that I'm running for is, they take care of the administrative duties for the 16th Judicial Court. In other words, they take care of records and filing and the technology that folks get on for e-filing and looking up documents. When a person goes through the court system, they generate a file. To get any of that information that's on that file or anything that has happened, even the date of the court or when their next court date, all that is done through the circuit clerk's office. It is basically the administration department for the whole 16th Judicial Court system.
Thank you. Mr. Hartwell, same question. In your own words, how would you describe the office that you're running for?
Yeah, certainly. The circuit clerk is part of the judicial branch of government. Having a legal expertise or experience is definitely an asset. As a circuit clerk, I'm responsible for over 100 employees, 23,000 court files that go to court every month. There are 7 locations, 30 different courtrooms that need to be managed and supervised. Through innovation and taking advantage of technology, I've saved the taxpayers $7.5 million, and I've made the office more efficient. An important part of the record keeping is also reporting. In other words, it's important to have the accurate court record, because if you were ever, let's say, accused of something and you're found not guilty, you want that record to last forever. But also it has to be available to the public. And that's how we use IT to make more and more information available quickly to the public, to other agencies and to judicial partners.
Thank you. Mr. Hartwell, the second question will go to you first. What skills are most important to the circuit clerk's office?
I think there's two skills that are equally important. One is to have that legal experience. You don't have to be an attorney, but I am. The second is managerial. There's many issues that come up in the circuit clerk's office dealing with the law. The state legislature has this really funny habit of writing new laws every so often, and these laws impact the way I have to do my business, whether it be changing fines and fees or court procedures. And it's having a legal background and understanding what those laws say is important. Second thing is management. With 100 employees, there's a lot of issues that are there in terms of making everyone productive. We've had 3 different opportunities to restructure our office over the last 7.5 years, each one allowing people to become more efficient, more productive, which then means savings to the taxpayers.
Thank you. Ms. Barreiro, the same question. What skills are most important to the circuit clerk's office?
Well, the main skill is leadership. I have proven that on the county board, and in looking at the circuit clerk's office, there are many things that my background would be successful with. I served on many committees with the county board, and one of them was judicial and public safety. And during that time, I would witness what goes on at the circuit clerk's office through their reports. And yes, the circuit clerk's office, Mr. Hartwell boasts about saving $7 million, but that is not true that it came from his office. Actually, the county board cut the budget. And that was unfortunate, but that's how the office actually saved the $7 million. My experience on the county board will put a good foundation. I have a financial oversight. I have prepared budgets. I've presented budgets, and I maintain budgets. I advocate for the employees that work for Mr. Hartwell. I've advocated for the employees when they were on strike through the county board's office. I have had the ability to get along with the people regardless of their party. And this is part of my leadership skills, and I pledge to work with everyone to make a better circuit clerk's office.
Thank you. The next question goes first to Ms. Barreiro. Only a few years ago, establishing and maintaining all court records involved mountains of paper documents being transported to and from courtrooms by judges and attorneys. How are court records managed today?
Well, that's very interesting. We spent about $4 million back in 2014 for a new computer system. And every 5 years, we have to put, well, we put 2.2 million into it for maintenance upgrades. And it's unfortunate because a lot of the systems, what's happening is the attorneys and folks that look at the records, there are a lot of glitches that pop up. I spoke about this in my last forum. And yes, we were supposed to go paperless. In 2020, I believe, we were supposed to go paperless, and that was a disaster. Many of the court clerks had to go back and get the files. Another thing that's a huge disruption to the court system is the files sometimes are incorrect, because sometimes a person puts in a wrong note or a wrong spelling of a name. Judge, attorney cannot find the information correct, and that leads to more distress through the court system. These are all issues that we really need to address with our computer system, and this is why I want to have focus groups and surveys to find out what's going on with the system. Since we've invested so much money with the taxpayer dollars, we need to figure out what is going on with it and how we can tweak it to make it work for the judicial system.
Thank you. Mr. Hartwell, how are court records managed today?
Certainly. A couple issues quick that I'm going to squeeze in my time. Number one, I never had a strike. They're thinking about court services, not the circuit clerk's office. Second, in terms of the savings, I'm talking about real life expenses. For example, my first year I had a budget of about $8 million that I was given. I spent only $6.8 million of that. So that's a $1.1 million savings. My second year, 2014, my budget given to me was $7.7 million. I spent $6.9 million, which is another $1 million savings. That's how I talk about savings. It's about my actual expenditures, not about what the county board gave me as a budget, but how year after year I take that budget and I still come in under it because I find efficiencies. So as regarding the court record, yeah, today it is paper on demand. The reason we need to still have some paper is because certain people still need to have it. They don't have computers, so it's paper on demand. But my court files are now electronic. Everything that you need to have that used to be on paper is found on a computer. And what's great about that is the access is there for the judges, for attorneys, for litigants to access that right away. They don't need to have paper if they don't want to have it. And again, getting back to paper a little bit, in a courtroom, if you need documents that are signed, paper sometimes is more convenient, although we're working on electronic documents that can be passed back and forth through email.
Thank you. Mr. Hartwell, next question goes first to you. Has the Tyler Odyssey court case management system functioned as advertised to serve the needs of the courts? And are there any lingering or new problems with that software?
The Tyler Odyssey program is an excellent program, but it's not perfect. There are definitely glitches that come up. And at the last forum, there was a mention of how when you use the portal, which is the public access, if you back the page, it would kick you out of the system, which of course is not acceptable. That problem is fixed. You know, there's a process when there's problems. We spent a lot of money on this system and we've saved a lot of money already. One of the reasons I've been able to come in under budget is because of the system. And is it perfect? No. But what happens is when we have a problem, the first thing we do, we hear about it, we ask the user what they're doing, see if it's on their side. If not, then we go to our own office to see if we can find the difficulty. Then we turn to ITD and say, is this a server issue? Is this beyond our control? Is this something that you've done? Have you rebooted something? Then from there, it goes to Tyler if it's still not resolved. And Tyler's a big company, there's no doubt about it. And things can get put on the back burner, but we have an escalation system as well. So if it's a problem that needs to be addressed quickly, we can get it escalated and then we can get problems resolved. So this is an ongoing process. And we bought, and part of our license fee is this evergreen product, they call it, where we get all the updates they ever make for free. And they provide this service to find these glitches.
Thank you. Ms. Barreiro, the same question. Has Tyler Odyssey court case management system functioned as advertised to serve the needs of the courts? And are there any lingering or new problems with the software?
Yes, I'm not aware that it was fixed instantaneously as of today. I've not heard that. I know for a fact that the system does still boot people out. I also know that we spent a lot of money on this system and they have meetings regularly on this. And yes, the staff has expressed these issues and the public has expressed the issues, the attorneys have expressed their issues. So my plan is to hire outside experts with relevant and proven experience with the current software and with integration. Computer systems that don't function properly cause frustration, and inefficiencies. Review the current software that we have and their contracts. We need to review those. And we need to review the current software maintenance contracts to see what leverage we have that can be applied to address these glitches that everyone's talking about. And I'm sure Mr. Hartwell is aware of this. I would like to work with other counties with the same system to apply pressure on the vendor for a timely upgrade or fixes. And I know that our IT is willing to help with these issues, and I know staff is eager to help with these issues. We just got to figure out, we got to get the main players in the same room and figure out what's going on.
Thank you. Ms. Barreiro, the next question goes first to you. Does the office provide adequate help to all users on how to utilize the new technology and what improvements would be useful?
Well, can you repeat the beginning of that? I'm sorry.
Does the office provide adequate help to all users on how to utilize the new technology? What improvements would be useful?
Okay. The new technology, yes, they do have training on it, but I believe that the staff needs more training on this. I also believe that IT needs to work with the staff on the training. I know that there sometimes are a lot of changes made that everybody is not aware until after it's happened or currently right before it's happened, especially in the courtrooms. I do believe that this system, there are portions of it that work great for judges, but when it comes down to the courts and the judges being the system being integrated, there's something going on that it does not work properly. We've spent millions on this, and I know that other states and other counties have the same system. I don't understand why our county has such an issue with it. I do know that this was a system purchased from the same system that state of Illinois has. I'm sure you can all attest that when you go to find something on the state of Illinois website, you're a bit frustrated.
Thank you. Mr. Hartwell, same question. Does the office provide adequate help to all users on how to utilize the new technology and what improvements, if any, would be useful?
We certainly through Tyler have a number of different training modules, but taking a big picture first, Tyler Technologies is in 24 different states. They are statewide in 14 of those states. So there's a lot of people who think this is a good system. We are in regular and constant contact with Peoria, Tazewell, Cook County, who are 3 counties that do have Tyler, and we do discuss these issues and we do team up to make Tyler move. The thing about Cook County is, they do business totally different than we do because of their volume. But Peoria and Tazewell are smaller counties, and we do what we can to make that happen. Our number one goal is regarding self-represented litigants who struggle because they don't understand the process. And we provide forms and direct them to resources that they can move this along themselves. Our law library, which is not part of the clerk's office, it's part of the judiciary, has an awesome self-help program. And the people in the library are fabulous to make sure that these folks can use the system to the best they can.
Thank you. Next question goes first to Mr. Hartwell. How safe and secure are court records and personal data? Has the system ever been hacked or breached? Is it possible it could be?
The court records are very, very safe, and the information is very, very safe. There's not been a breach. I cannot take credit for this. This is ITD. The county is responsible for the protection. Sometimes it gets frustrating. They've got so many firewalls that you have to enter password about time and time again. but that is for that safety. Is it possible that it could be hacked? Absolutely. And that's why we go through these extraordinary measures to protect the data to make sure that the breaches don't happen.
Thank you. Ms. Barreiro, same question. How safe and secure are court records and personal data? Has the system ever been hacked or breached? And is it possible?
Well, I don't believe that it's been hacked or breached. I do know that every now and then on the county board, we do get phishing issues with our emails, et cetera. And I know that many other departments have accidentally clicked on, and it's kind of caused a big problem with the county. So what I would like is to work with IT consultants to use the latest software and procedures to implement a computer security training for all staff to minimize phishing and potential ransom scams. Now, there is a way to, I know other cities, they've implemented a lot of these little systems in order to see if someone is clicking on it. They do a report, and then they can tell, and then there's more training that the person has to take. But we also need the Freedom of Information process should have checks and balances to make sure sensitive information is not released. We should post these frequently, requested onto the informational portal on the website. We also need to stress training along with the staff. I believe administration should go to the training, not just down the ladder. I believe it should start at the top. So when there are questions or there is an issue, the judges and the attorneys can contact the leader and not just the office manager or the administrative person in charge.
Thank you. Next question, first to Ms. Barreiro. What changes or new initiatives would you like to see in this office?
Thank you. Well, I have some goals. I'd like to implement a customer survey. I would hold focus groups and meet with stakeholders to assess how the circuit clerk's office is doing. I would work with staff to develop goals based on the assessment of the office. I would work to make the office more transparent. I would advocate for resources to support staff and address technology issues. I would expand outreach programs to help people involved in the judicial system. With that, it requires collaborating with the sheriff on an outreach program to help people with expungements, participate in career days and job fairs to diversify the applicant pool. I know that we do not do this. I would like to provide information to people with financial needs and hire an IT consultant to help fix or integrate the computer problems. This will need to be worked into the budget, which could be delayed, but I have a pretty good rapport with the county board right now, and I do feel that I have built relationships in order to seek some of these issues taken care of.
Thank you. Mr. Hartwell, same question. What changes or new initiatives would you like to bring to this office?
Well, one of the new initiatives that we're preparing is a online system where information about employees are kept for progress reports. In other words, as an employee does activities that are positive, we keep track of that. If they struggle in certain areas, then we will watch that so the training is better. This is called Clear Company 360. And what's good about it is right now, a lot of that information is being done on paper. It's not being done in real time. But instead, what staff and management can do is, as the day goes on and certain things happen, you go on, log in, put it down, so the employees, management can see these things that are happening, and we can reward the good things and also then address some things that aren't working. One of the other initiatives that we're taking on is there's going to be a major upgrade to Tyler Technologies Odyssey. We were hoping to get it by this time, but unfortunately, because of COVID, everything's been delayed. That's going to bring on a lot of innovation, clean up some of the glitches that exist, and make the whole office more efficient.
Thank you. Mr. Hartwell, the next question goes first to you. How has the COVID-19 pandemic affected the circuit clerk's office?
The well-being and safety of my employees is paramount. It has transformed the office dramatically, to say the least. When this struck back in March, it was determined that we had to try to send as many employees home as possible, but at the same time, we were required to remain open. And so, first of all, we had to have PPEs. We had to have masks, hand sanitizers, cleaning supplies, plexiglass windows. A lot of these were in very difficult supply. We were required to go through the health department to get this, and we did. But some we went ahead and purchased on our own when we could find it. But these were provided. We also went through the whole building, set up tape markings so that people understood what spacing was supposed to be to help out. Another thing I was concerned about is the financial stability of my employees. So first thing foremost, I gave everyone 15 days, COVID days, so that they knew if there's something happened in their family where they had to take that time off, they would be able to stay at home and not worry about not being paid. This was in addition to any vacation or other personal days they had coming. We then also looked at work from home, and 60% of our staff can work from home now, and we can still be just as productive. And of course, that is ultimate social distancing and safety if people don't have to come into the office. Now, obviously in the courts, we need to be there. There's public there. These things for PPEs are offered to the public as well. And we're being very, very cautious. During this time, we had to send out 110,000 notices so that the court dates, people know that court dates were pushed back. We've instituted video bond call so that prisoners don't have to be transported, but can be done just from the local jails. And now we're doing Zoom courts as well, so that you can have a party in Elgin and a party down in Aurora, a judge in St. Charles, and they can get business done without there being personal contact.
Thank you. Your time is up. Ms. Barreiro, same question. In your opinion, how has the COVID-19 pandemic affected the circuit clerk's office?
Well, the biggest challenge right now is going to be the budget. Unfortunately, the current pandemic will have a long term impact on the office. It will have an impact on the budget, requiring leaner budgets. Safety will continue to be important. Residents will be impacted financially, making it difficult to pay court fees and fines. I will work with staff in the health department to make sure that best practices are in place and make adjustments as necessary. I will work to make resources more readily available to help people in financial need. I would like to explore insourcing the collection of court fees and fines and work with people before their credit ratings are impacted. That can also enhance needed revenues to shore up the budget. I will work with staff to help reduce overtime and identify ways to make the office more efficient and reduce the costs. Our main goal is safety, operations, and the budget. And to do all that, the circuit clerk needs to be a full-time leader. He needs to be someone who is the first to arrive and the last to leave. Sets a tone for the whole office, brings up the morale. Currently, the morale is down. Pandemic has not helped matters. but the morale is very low in the office. This is how some of the changes can be made. You need to be in the office to really know the details of administration, clerical, and other duties. And I plan on being there and helping the staff through that.
Thank you. This next question, maybe a little less technical, goes first to Ms. Barreiro. How would your colleagues describe you?
I'm glad I'm answering that before Tom. My colleagues would say that I am a go-getter. I stand up for people. If I believe in something, I am the first one to stand up for it and to protect the little guy. I've always been a civil servant my whole life, with several jobs in the past, and I've been a public servant in politics, and I am the type of person that gets the job done. When someone has a question with the county, they usually call me. I'm not 24 board members, but if you're down south, a lot of people call me because they know I'll find out the answer. That's the type of person I am. I am there for the people, for the staff. I am always the first one to try and help, and I'm qualified. I've been in politics. I'm also administrative. I think that's what what people would say about me.
Thank you. Mr. Hartwell, same question. How would your colleagues describe you?
Well, they'd say I'm an optimist, sometimes too much of an optimist. I believe that any problem can be attacked and tackled, and we can achieve anything if we work together. Second of all, I'm a team player, that I provide cooperation, which is awesome in this particular office because we work with the judges, with the sheriff, state's attorney, public defender, and 34 different law agencies across the county. So that cooperation is good. I'm an overachiever. I try to do the best I can in everything I try to do. So I think that's the things that they would say. Each of those have have their positives, and sometimes they have their negatives. But that's what I have friends for, to keep me in line and keep me grounded.
Thank you. Last question goes first to Mr. Hartwell. In your opinion, what is one thing the voters need to know before making their ballot? And it may be something that we did not touch on in our other questions, so that's open to how you want to answer it.
Okay, I think experience is the most important thing in this race. My opponent has experiences, there's no doubt, and many, many good ones. However, my experience here in this office for 7.5 years allows me to take the next steps, to continue the success that we've had, and also find more successes going down the road. I think my experience as administrator in this office, there's always people, there's always employees who are going to be disappointed. But the thing is, I don't represent the employees. I represent the people. My job is with my employees to make sure they have fair contracts, which I've negotiated 2 union contracts, that they get work done, and that we are fair to them. And that experience is what I've had over the last 7.5 years. I do my best, and then look for ways to do better.
Thank you. Ms. Barreiro, same question. What is one thing the voters need to know before marking their ballot?
Well, that I'll go to work. I'm running because I have a lot to offer. I have experience that will be beneficial. This is a continuation of my public service that would be both challenging and rewarding. This job, this elected office, is actually a $90,000 salary. This will be my only job. The office is supported by local tax dollars as well as user fees. An efficient office should not be a burden to the taxpayers. The office should provide value to the quality life in Kane County by making sure the 16th Judicial Circuit Clerk is running efficiently. I feel that I know that I will be there. I will be there every day. This is the only job I will have. Unlike my opponent, I am not an attorney, but this will be my job. I am an administrative, have an administrative field. I am educated and prepared for this position. And I know that I can do more for Kane County and the people of Kane County.
Thank you both for answering our questions. At this time, we're going to move to the 2-minute closing statements, beginning with Mr. Hartwell.
Thank you very much. Thank you, League of Women Voters, for this time. I appreciate the questions and the opportunity. Everyone wants Kane County to be a better place. I do. That's why I'm seeking this position. We want safe neighborhoods. We want fairness. We want justice. We want the legal system to run well, which I've done over the last 7.5 years. The purpose of our legal system is fairness. It's to separate from society those who are dangerous and to resolve disputes between people. It's to protect victims' rights. For 35 years, I've dedicated myself to these lofty goals. And I want to continue to work in the legal system to manage the court files, to make sure that they're run efficiently, to provide savings, and to provide service. In my personal life, service has always come important. I've been involved in many different charities, and that is important as well. I stay busy doing other things. Yes, I do. However, this job has been a priority to me, and the success that we've had is based on my ability to manage. I have 4 fantastic ladies who are my chiefs, all of which who are dedicated as well as I am to provide these goals. And so going forward, I ask that the people of Kane County take into consideration my experience and vote for me before or on November 3rd.
Thank you. Ms. Barreiro, your 2-minute closing statement, please.
Thank you. I would like to thank the League of Women Voters for sponsoring this forum. Through the efforts of the League of Women Voters, voters are better informed, resulting in better government. Now more than ever, Kane County needs a full-time circuit clerk. The current pandemic will have a long-lasting impact operationally, fiscally, and technologically. It is going to require a leader who can work well with others to identify problems and implement solutions. It is going to require a leader who can grasp the administrative functions of an office and make continuous changes working alongside their staff. It is going to require a leader who can get support from the county board when it is necessary. As a lifelong resident of Kane County, I am vested in the well-being of the county. I have demonstrated the commitment through my community involvement for the past 30 years. As a Kane County board member, I have served as an advocate for important issues and have earned the respect of my colleagues. Before my time on the county board, I worked for local and the private sector. I have experience in office management, customer service, administrative duties, and technology. I am looking forward to using my experience in a new role and to serve the residents of Kane County as circuit clerk. I am committed to serving full-time to meet the challenges ahead. I will bring new energy. I have proven that I can work well with others. I will be transparent, innovative, and customer service driven. I am asking for your support to be the next circuit clerk of Kane County.
Thank you both for participating in this candidate forum and giving the voters a chance to hear your views. For more information on these and other candidates, check the voter guide and our LWVEA website lwvelginarea.org. That concludes today's candidate forum. I want to thank Theresa Barreiro and Thomas Hartwell
Thank
for
you.
agreeing to participate in this forum. And I want to thank the league members who worked to provide this virtual forum to the voters. Thanks also to the voters who take the time to watch these forums and learn about the candidates in order to make an informed choice. If you have applied for a vote by mail ballot, they will be mailed out beginning today. You should receive them soon, depending on when you applied. Voting early in person at specified early voting sites begins on October 19th, and voting on election day at your regular polling place will of course be on November 3rd. If you plan to vote early, please note that different sites are open different hours, and there may be changes this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. You can check the Kane County Elections website for any updates. We hope that this candidate forum, presented as a public service by the League of Women Voters, has been helpful. If you are interested in joining the Elgin Area League of Women Voters or supporting the work that we do, please contact us at our website. League membership is open to men as well as women, and we're welcome anyone interested in issues, voter registration, and elections. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.